following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, why every man in a thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
British punk, yo, wanna be Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star.
Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We got a great show for you guys today. Before we get started, let's say hi to my cool, outrageous man about town, Mr. Ron Russell.
Howdy do, everybody. How you do? I have chapped lips. What do you do about chapped lips? Okay? The desert dries out your lips. Years ago, my friend Linda said to me, Ron, I've got such chapped lips. What can I do about it? I said, get a bucket of Epsom salts and sit in it.
That's terrible. Hey, Astro's joining us too. Here's Astro. What's up, everybody? We got a great show for you today. We have coming back for his second appearance, superstar, director, writer, producer David Zucker. And then we have actor, producer, writer Lester G. Reynolds coming on. He's been in a bunch of movies with all our friends. So I think it'll be a fun show. We want to say hi to the chat room. Cindy Laidlake's in there. Medicator is in there. Stefan, say hi to Tina for us.
Hey, Tina, baby, how are you?
What else? I want to thank everybody who's followed my new podcast, the AI Filmmaker with Jimmy Star. We're number 3 on Apple Podcasts for our category after 6 days. And there's 7 episodes up. You can check it out. It's AI Filmmaker with Jimmy Star. You can also check out the Instagram page and the YouTube channel. They all have the same name. Also, I didn't upload it for us to play, but Nightcrawler episode 2, you guys, if you want to see our AI series, Nightcrawler episode 2 is now up on Instagram and YouTube. And the Jimmy Star Show, again, is number 1 for film interview podcasts. We're 8 weeks in a row on Apple Podcasts. So thanks everybody for tuning in and listening. We appreciate it. We also want to thank everybody for tuning in all the time. You can hear us on Libsyn, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. We also put the shows up on TikTok, Instagram. So they're all over the place. We want to thank everybody. Our show last week did really well, and Max Eric, the young guy that we had on last week, put a clip on his Instagram page, and it got 260,000 views or something. So it was pretty good. Actually, it's very good. Really, really good.
Good.
Yes.
Now, we're selling our house. Naturally, we have a realtor coming. Well, the realtor is coming was a Thursday. And on a Wednesday night, we had a windstorm here so bad. It was like, I don't know, worse than a hurricane. And it blew part of the roof off the lanai. So now how do you show the house to a realtor with half of your lanai blown away? So luckily we were able to use, whose list?
Angie's List.
Angie's List. And got a very good guy to come, and he came right away. And over the weekend, he repaired it and painted the lanai, and it looks beautiful. So now that very same realtor is coming back Thursday to look at the house to put it on the market. What's happened to real estate today? Real estate has gotten very snobby. Real estate has gotten very greedy. Well, it's always been greedy, but now it's gotten greedier, if there's such a word as greedier. If you're selling for less than, let's say you're selling for $500,000, you don't get the attention or the treatment you get if you're selling for $1 million, because these realtors only want $1 million listings, because they're greedy and they want to make a ton of money. And they make 6% of $1 million goes to their agency, of which they divide among all of them. So I'm not happy with realtors, but unfortunately we're stuck with them and we can't get away from them. I think the government or somebody should come in and put laws up and reduce that 6%, because 6% was good when you were selling a house for $65,000. But now that you're selling houses for under $1 million, that 6% is way too much money. So I'm not happy. But anyway, you got to sell, you got to do, and it's what it is. So there you go. Now you know why.
And we're going to Boca.
Boca Raton, yes.
We're going to Boca.
Where there's no sand and it's ocean. And the ocean is going to do such good for my throat, for my voice, for my nose, because I'm still infected, as you can hear. Not as bad as last week, because I've been taking medicine, but it's still not good. I suffer from desert throat. That's what it's called here, desert throat.
That's funny.
If you go to Las Vegas, like when Frank Sinatra used to sing in Las Vegas, he left his limo with a mask on and ran into the hotel not to get desert throat. So everybody that sings feared desert throat. And there were many cancellations in Las Vegas in the nightclub because of desert throat. So there, that's it. What more can I say about living in Palm Springs? It's good for a weekend. You come in, you go out, and that's it. But when you live here, it's horrible. Anyway, such is life.
So Hub Reynolds just joined us. I think he's
Who?
on Hub Reynolds. I think he's on.
Hub?
I think he's on vacation with his wife Holly Ann. So hello, Hub and Holly Ann. Hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. And I don't know. Do we have anything exciting to report? No.
Well, we could report that I'm still alive. That's exciting. It's exciting for me. Anyway, what's exciting is that, yes, we're selling the house. We're almost packed because, you know, they say to empty out a lot of stuff in your house. When you got people coming, they don't like clutter. So we've emptied it and made it minimal. We've done some things to make it a little more attractive to the younger buyer. And now we just sit and wait. I hope we sell quickly so we can get out of here and set ourselves up in Boca for Thanksgiving, because we're going up to my daughter's in Pennsylvania for Thanksgiving dinner. And that's such an easy flight. You know, it's like 2 hours, you know, as opposed to here. No lie, for us to get across the country, it takes sometimes 17 hours, 14 hours, 12 hours.
Yeah, everything's always messed up, and there's always
because
delays.
you miss a flight, the flights are not working, you're sitting there 3 hours. It's a nightmare. You have to, there's no such thing as a non-stop anymore from California to New York or to Pennsylvania or to Florida. The airlines have just gone crazy. They've abused us enough. They say that we are uncivilized passengers, and that's why they abuse us. Not true. I mean, I'm not an uncivilized passenger. I'm a sophisticated flyer. I've been flying. Well, I am, Jim. I dress nice and I behave nicely because I've been flying since I'm 16 years old. My first airline flight was from Chicago to New York. When I left the Navy Reserves, they flew me home on a commercial flight, and it was a DC-6 airplane. I remember that. Anyway, living on the East Coast is so much better for us, so much better, because all my friends that I grew up with, they're all on the East Coast, and I miss them dearly, as well as Jimmy was born there. He was born in Florida. He's a native. So we did it. We came here. We got what we wanted. We became who we are. And now it's time to leave and go back and find different venues to be on.
So it's Hub's 1 year anniversary. So happy anniversary, Hub. Jeff Caperton just joined us. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Hope all is well. And Oh, I'm getting messages everywhere. So what's up? So Jeff Caperton is in the house, you guys. He just worked all last weekend on Carnival, the teaser trailer we're using to help try and find an investor, and it should be coming out relatively soon, and should be a lot of fun. They were in Texas in the massive heat, filming all night. So welcome to the chat room, Jeff. And Astro's sleeping behind us, so that's good.
And Rayster Michaels posted again on my Facebook page, the LA Mob is soon to be filmed. Soon to be filmed. He's been saying that for a friggin' year. I mean, you know, I don't have that much time. They may just film me as a stiff, you know, a corpse, dress me up as a mobster, and then have somebody talk like a puppet. Anyway, I believe soon we'll be going to work because the LA Mob is a good story. It's going to make a lot of waves, and everybody's going to be excited about it. So let's get going, boys.
Absolutely. I also have another movie that's going to be coming out soon. Get Her, you guys. It's going to be coming out pretty soon. I think we're going to get to see a copy of it by this weekend. And we've already got distribution set up for it, so it's going to be cool. And it was directed by Bill Hillman, starring Alessandro Falcito. And they were both guests a couple months ago.
Weren't they supposed to be in that movie?
No, you're not supposed to be in that one. And what else? I don't have anything. I don't have anything really exciting to say. So maybe we'll take a little quick music break, you guys, because when we come back, I think our first guest will be here. So let's check out, since we had Max Eric on last week, let's take his single again because everybody loved it so much. So this is Backroads by Max Eric, and we'll be back in a minute. Enjoy, everybody.
I wanna take you to the back roads, black hats with the brim low. Somewhere nobody sees us, but we could do it all night. On the beach in the moonlight, somewhere no one can reach us. I wanna be your little secret. I wanna know if you can keep it. Kissing with our eyes closed, we can kick it on the down low. Wanna take you to the back roads, yeah. I wish that we could be incognito so comfortably, just holding hands walking down the street. No paparazzi trying to mess with me, nah. Baby, we could keep it still. The bright lights are blinded, put them on the shelf. The world wants to see you with someone else, but I know a place that you could be yourself. No one has to know. I know what you want, I got the spot, nobody knows. I wanna take you to the back roads, black hats with the brim low. Somewhere nobody sees us, but we could do it all night. On the beach in the moonlight, somewhere no one can reach us. I wanna be your little secret. I wanna know if you can keep it. Kissing with our eyes closed, at the movies in the back row. We can kick it on the down low. Take you to the back roads, back roads. Back roads, whoa. Back roads, take you to the back roads, whoa. I wanna get you out of the city, private to Bahamas if you ballin' with me. Girl, you're looking out like you fly a lot, hiding in your bands like a pilot. Throw away your problems like a shortstop, turn base from the corner with your socks off. Wanna be the candy in your lunchbox, cause girl, you're blowing up just like a pop rock. No one has to know. I know what you want, I got the spot, nobody knows. I wanna take you to the back roads, black hats with the brim low. Somewhere nobody sees us, but we could do it all night. On the beach in the moonlight, somewhere no one can reach us. I wanna be your little secret. I wanna know if you can keep it. Kissing with our eyes closed, at the movies in the back row. We can kick it on the down low. Take you to the back roads, back roads. Back roads, whoa. Back roads, take you to the back roads, whoa.
Hey, everybody, that was Max Eric. The name of the song is Backroads. Now we're going to bring on our first guest. Let's bring him on. Hello.
Hello, you guys. I remember you.
Of course you remember us.
I remember you. You were the
No, I
nice
mean, I'm
guy.
not.
You were the guy at McDonald's, right? That gave me the French fries.
I'm
extra
not.
French
I'm
fries.
not meaning to say you guys are unforgettable, but
Are you still
I do
working?
remember you.
Good. Hang on.
Are you still working at McDonald's?
No, I lost my job there.
How come? I mean, it was good because every time you served me, you gave me extra potatoes, and it
Well,
was you.
the trouble was it was just in your imagination, and so I had trouble getting a check for my services.
Listen, one day you'll be famous when you do something right. Like maybe,
Yeah.
maybe you'll write a movie called Airplane, or maybe you'll do.
Hang on, we got to introduce him because we have to make sure everybody knows him. All right, everybody, now we want to welcome.
Hey, David, how are you?
Good.
Now,
You're looking good.
hey, everybody, now we want to welcome back to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, film director, writer, producer.
I'm not
David.
frozen, but they are.
We're frozen?
Yeah, they will come back.
I don't know. Do we come back?
Not yet. Now there's just a little white circle. Oh, now you're back. Yeah.
Okay, so we want to welcome film director, writer, producer, and now podcast host, David Zucker. And we got your name right twice in a row. So I'm very happy about that.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
So welcome back. How's everything going?
Good. You know, we're doing the podcast, as you say, and I'm in rewriting another script that we have, and that's fun. I love writing. So and I have my team with me, and we're doing the last rewrite, and then they'll decide to either greenlight it or not, I guess. So so that's what's happening, and then we're casting Star of Malta. That's my other script.
So you have Star of Malta and Oktoberfest, I wrote down.
Right, and so essentially nothing has changed since the last time.
Oh, I didn't know that. Can you give us a little tease about Star of Malta, what it's
There
about?
you
Or
froze
are you allowed
again.
to? Are you allowed to tell us what's going on with Star of Malta? Like, can you give us a tease about what it's about?
It's film noir, black and white, set in 1949, and basically it uses there's a classic noir movie from 1945 called Detour.
Yes.
And we're using that as our jumping off point. It's not going to be what typically people think of film noir is, you know, L.A. Gumshoe gets a visit from a femme fatale whose husband was murdered. You know, I'm not doing all that stuff. I'm doing something original, actually, which is kind of rare for movies nowadays. But I wrote it with my longtime writing partners, Pat Proft and Mike McManus. And, you know, so we saw about 10 or 20 noir movies, and we used 10 of them to concoct this plot. Detour wasn't enough. It's, you know, turns out for a movie you need a third act. So, and Detour, I think they ran out of money, even though it's this classic film noir thing that everybody loves. It doesn't really have a third act. So we added a lot of hamburger helper to the plot.
We actually watched Noir Alley a lot on Ron's a Turner Classic Movie. I never watched Turner Classic Movies till I met him. Now we watch it all the time because he was friends with Jane Russell and Tab Hunter and a whole bunch of people. And so
All the noirs, I knew all of them. And as far as I'm concerned, it was the best theater we've ever had because they were corny, they were plotty. We knew what was going to happen, but we just loved looking at Claire Trevor wearing hats, Jane Russell's cleavage, and Robert Mitchum's wonderful personality. They had it. They had individuality back then.
Yeah, and the writing was, you know, it was of the period, but it was still, you know, pretty skillful, and the acting was great. And these people really had what they call star quality, I guess. But
oh yeah,
I think I can reproduce that feel in Star of Malta, and it's just a wonderful story. And you know, I think I probably mentioned this last time. I've just learned a lot since we did Kentucky Fried Movie and Airplane, and you know, stuff
Right.
we didn't know at the time. Although a lot of the movies were hits, you know, there's still a lot to learn. And so what we're doing, without trying to take myself too seriously, you know, it's important to have that character. It turns out it's the only thing the audience cares about. I mean, the jokes are great, but you know, they really care about what happens to that character. So that's kind of what we're following on this, and we're doing Oktoberfest for a German for Amazon Germany, and so we're putting the finishing touches on that. It's not a spoof at all. It's actually a rom-com, as it turns out to be, but it's all about character. The jokes are great, and they're really universal. So I think that one will be understood worldwide.
I love it. I love Robert Mitchum a lot. I like what you said though. Back then, like everybody was stars and stuff. Like you.
But what was wonderful about them was, on camera they were bigger than life. They were superstars, but in real life, they were the most boring, uneducated, unable to have conversation because they're so dependent on script and direction. So I found that Jane Russell, who was my best friend, at times was very dull. And I used to say to her, Jane, spike it up. Why are you so boring? She said, well, what do you want me to say, Ron? I said, say something exciting, be like your character. Rita Hayworth had that problem. Rita Hayworth said publicly, when men went to bed with me, they expected Gilda, and all they got was Rita Hayworth. So now, are you going to make these characters be that way? Are you going to show them off camera and on camera, or are they just going to be on camera? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, we just, all I care about is what's on camera. It's all showbiz. That's what movies are. They're not real life. So that's and I take my cues from movies, not from real life, because I as you know, I have no real life.
I'll tell you something, and I don't say this to too many people, but I love all your movies. I have watched them over again. I like camp and I like spoof, and they are campy, spoofy movies. They are total camp.
Actually, anybody tuning in who's younger, who might not know who David Zucker is, his movies are Airplane and The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad, and The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear, and The Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult, Basketball, Scary Movie 3, 4, 5, Kentucky Fried Chicken, or Kentucky Fried Movie. I mean, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Close enough.
He's got a lot of great movies.
No, but the best one was Top Gun.
Top Gun, Naked Gun.
Naked Gun. When he slides on the table and his head goes between the Queen of England's legs.
Yeah, well,
I love that scene. I crack up still talking about it. It was hysterical.
Yeah, those are.
I met him in Florida, and he was
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen, and he was a terrifically nice guy.
He was very, very sweet man, and he didn't write his own lines, but he had a great sense of humor.
Good timing.
And had that fart machine that he used on all his interviews. But he played that, he knew what that character was. Just don't try to be funny. Just put the funny in the background, and Leslie would talk to the interview seriously and then work the fart machine. And it was very funny. So, that's what he did. I miss him. I think he died in 2010. So that's already over 15 years ago.
Long time.
Yeah, he lived in Fort Lauderdale, though, right?
He lived in. We went up to his apartment. He was in Fort Lauderdale,
because I think he was near Victoria Park. That's where I lived.
He lived in the buildings on the ocean.
All right,
he copied sort of Jack Benny, because Jack Benny had that dead humor. In fact, Jack Benny would tell a joke, cross his hands, and look at you.
Right. Yeah. Which interestingly enough, Johnny Carson used that all the time.
Yes.
He learned from Jack Benny, and he would
he
knew that he could just look at the audience and that would be the laugh.
And so did Leslie.
And
Yeah, he was really very nice. I got to tell you, very friendly.
the other one who really did great deadpan was Bob Euchre, who appeared dozens and dozens of
Yes.
times on
Bob knew
all these
Bob
talk
Euchre.
shows.
I don't know who that is. I have to look him up.
Oh yeah, no, he was a former baseball player, and he was on Johnny Carson and Letterman and Leno many times,
Yes.
and just told these great stories, and always made himself the butt of the jokes. You know, kind of
Yep.
like Rodney Dangerfield would do that too. Anyways,
And you know who else? Burt Reynolds. We knew Burt Reynolds. I knew him really well. And Burt Reynolds, you would be out to lunch with him, and he would start a story and then do the hit the button, do the punchline, and just stare at you like Jack Benny. So Burt Reynolds had that same way of telling a joke and looking at you, almost questioning you. Do you find it funny? A wonderful, wonderful stuff these people had.
yeah, well, I think they knew that the material was strong enough so that they didn't have to, gild the lily, and that's kind of what happened in Airplane. Jerry and Jim and I figured the jokes would be strong enough
Oh, come on.
and better without comedians.
How did you get away with one line? Did you ever see a grown man naked?
A lot
How
of
did
it-
you get away with that?
A lot of it was that it was Peter Graves, and it wasn't Bill Murray. And and I love Bill Murray and Chevy Chase. They're brilliant comedians, but to have a comedian, I think, say that would be result in the gag being more tasteless than it actually was.
Actually, because I actually wrote a little thing down. I said, you have an incredible eye for casting dramatic actors in hilarious roles. Why do you think serious actors often make the funniest comedians?
Well,
True.
if you're doing a spoof, you really want to use the movies you're spoofing as the base. And we have this rule: you don't do a joke on a joke. You have to do one joke at a time. So our joke is the lines, as you say. Have you ever seen a grown man naked? But you don't also need Jerry Lewis to say it. So that's why we always thought the serious actors were the best choice for these things.
That was shock humor. See, there's a thing called shock, because I did stand up for 30 years. So I know what I'm talking about. There were certain jokes I did to shock the audience into laughter. And that was a shock joke because it was pedophilia. And nobody understood, oh my God, what is he saying?
I loved it.
And you laugh. You laugh because you're embarrassed.
Right. And, it was the one joke in Airplane that my mother didn't like. But, I tried to explain to her that, how my father had molested me. So, no, I didn't mean to say that. Forget you can erase that part of it. I explained to it, this was a spoof satire on the pristine, serious image of airline pilots in movies. And that was the extreme takedown of that image, was having the guy being a pedophile. So, and also, we had to explain that to Peter Graves, who originally threw the script across the room into the wastebasket, saying this is the worst piece of trash I've ever read. So, we kind of talked him off the ledge and got him to do the part.
I love it. So
that's what made it so wonderful, because it was honest. It was honest humor. It wasn't fantasy humor. Everything in that airplane existed. The stewardess, Lorene Landon.
No, she's not in his. She's in the first one. She's
in
in the second one. I mean, she's not in the first one.
Yeah,
Anyway,
the second
what
one,
goes on in there-
I never saw the second one.
Okay, we just have a friend who was like
No,
the
a
lead
very-
stewardess lady in
A
it. So
very dear friend.
yeah, she's just a good friend of ours.
What goes on in an airplane is definitely what goes on in your movie.
I loved it. All right, so I have a question now. You just launched a
good.
new podcast. It's called Naked Comedy. Interviews comedy writers, directors, actors, and producers, filmed in front of a live audience, which is awesome, of Masterclass students. Your first episode was Robert Hayes. First of all, tell everybody what Master Crash is, and then we can talk about the podcast.
Robert
Well,
Hayes was in the airplane,
Yes.
wasn't
Yes.
Master Crash is my online course in spoof comedy, which I feel that I know enough to teach what I know, and it's pretty outrageous to me that people try to do it and think they know what they're doing, but don't do it. So Jim and Jerry and I evolved over 40 years, 15 rules, and so we kind of start with that, and they're mainly things not to do in comedy, and they're original. Nobody else has these rules. Actually, nobody else needs these rules. Like the Wayans don't need it, or Mike Myers don't need it. But if you try to do Naked Gun or an airplane style spoof, you need to follow the rules. So so the recent Naked Gun, which was done without me, and over my objections, they didn't know what they were doing. So I was inspired to start this course. So we called it Master Crash.
I love it. So we
went to see it, and I said to Jimmy,
now we watched it at home, and he watched the first 10 minutes, and he says, "I can't watch this shit," and we turned it off.
it was so not. Oh, Jesus Christ! And he was terrible at it. Liam.
Yeah,
Neeson,
well,
I
I have not seen it, but
good.
Oh, it's awful. You'd love it if you saw
no,
it.
I couldn't possibly sit through even 5 minutes.
It's not your stuff. It's not.
I didn't. Jerry and Jim and I never saw Airplane 2 either. So because it's just when it's done by people, other than the
creators.
The creators, it's just not the same.
So we should go back real quick, you guys. If you want to learn more about Master Crash, you can go to mastercrash.com. That's the website, right? Did I get that right? Mastercrash.com. Yes. So now you have the Master Crash students also getting to go. First of all, it's great that you're doing a podcast in front of a live audience. Nobody does that.
It's not just entertainment. It's really a teaching podcast, because I really ask questions about comedy, which usually can be a boring subject if you talk about comedy. But I'm genuinely curious to know what other people, what their approach is. So it's interesting. And then we have the Master Crash students live with us asking questions. So it's a fun thing.
So
David, today you have to be careful when you do a film.
You do?
Everybody gets offended so easily. And the
well.
woke people make sure that they don't allow you to do any ethnic jokes or homosexual jokes or Yiddish jokes. You can't do anything anymore. So how do you write comedy without offending here for the audience?
Oh, it's easy. You just don't care or listen to those people. And it's just like, who was the guy who said, "Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead"? That's what we do. And I don't think about it even for a minute. I just do what I want.
I love it.
Because Mel Brooks, when he did Blazing Saddles, if that were today, he would have lawsuits up the ass because of his way of saying that black people were less than white people. It was very obvious in his film, but he did it to show the audience how stupid that is, to be prejudiced. But today they would turn it around and say he was putting down black people. And no, he didn't do that, because there's Jewish humor. The best humor in the world, I think I've told you this before, came out of Brooklyn. If you were a Brooklyn Jew, you had comedy. I know so many comedians because when I worked at the circuit, we knew each other, and the Jewish guys were the funniest. But they were like Joan Rivers. They didn't hold back. Like you said, they went forward.
So wait, did you like Blazing Saddles?
I did, yeah. I mean,
it was very fun.
I loved it.
Blazing Saddles was great. It's just, it's no longer what my style would be, but for its day, that was the funniest thing out there, and a lot of it still holds up.
It was voted the number one funniest.
We were always Mel Brooks fans, and then after Airplane, he took us out to lunch, and we were thrilled to. There was Mel Brooks, and
Sure.
and he was very kind and even wanted to do a movie with us. And we said, yeah, that's great. Well, let's do a movie together. But I don't know, I don't think
Thinking
we
is
could
different.
have really. It's just styles don't match at all. And then, but the lawyers and the agents took care of that because they couldn't make a deal.
Yeah, but
So
it could have been absolutely hilarious because your input and his input in the right place, I would have been a fan.
Yeah,
It's a question of, I love
there
both
there
of
may
your
have
work,
been a fit somewhere there. I don't know.
so
but I love your work and I love Mel's work, so I would have been thrilled to pieces.
So after decades behind the camera, why now did you start a podcast comedy? I mean, a naked comedy podcast. Why are you launching the podcast?
Just because it's part of Master Crash, because it's teaching, and it's part while I'm waiting to do my next movie. And it's tough these days because I have to get independent financing, and finally I have for
Tell us
Star
about
Malta.
it.
So we're able to make offers now to actors, and so I mean we're right in the middle of it.
I love
And
it.
as soon as we get the lead actor or actress, we're out to some people for the part of Harriet also. Then we can start locking in the rest of the financing and the rest of the casting, set a start date, and we'll be going first quarter of 2027. I think it's 2026 now, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, 2027. And I understand the whole independent financing thing. I have 9 films that I'm trying to raise money for, so I
Yeah.
totally get it. So what's something that you've learned then, because you're like a legend, what is something that you've learned from interviewing? Now you're interviewing people, interviewing other comedy legends. Like what kind of things have you learned?
I haven't learned anything.
Okay.
This is not actually I'm wrong. I have learned some things during some of these interviews because we were talking about one of the Scary Movie 3, in one of these interviews, and there was a shot, and I was wondering why certain jokes got a laugh and some didn't. And there was one joke in Scary 3 that didn't get a laugh, and it was the blow to the joke where the trooper's hat got bigger and bigger as it went on, and people, that was their favorite gag. The blow was as she drives off, it's just a hat with wheels. Her car becomes just a hat, and it didn't get a laugh. And so we cut it, and in those days they didn't save the outtakes, so I wish I could find that thing, because from doing these interviews, I figured out how it could have worked, which would have been I needed to background it. That's how technical this stuff gets. Charlie Sheen could have been in the foreground, like thinking, and in the background, you see the hat drive off. That would have made it okay.
So I have a question. This might be a sore spot, but did you see the new Scary Movie that just came out a couple weeks ago?
No, I haven't seen it. I may see it when it comes out on streaming, but generally I don't like to leave my house. But I think I like the Wayans, and I give them a lot of credit for being original. Whether they hit or miss, those guys are original, and they don't try to copy anybody else.
I think I agree with that. I haven't seen it yet either, because mostly because I'm too cheap to spend money for it, and I'm waiting for it to come out on streaming. But I think that it got mixed reviews. Some people loved it and some people hated it. So I am interested in seeing it, because when Naked Gun came out, everybody said it was the greatest thing ever with Liam Neeson, and I thought it was terrible. It was just terrible. Like, I was so happy I didn't pay for it. I'd have been so pissed.
Liam Neeson sold the movie. If he wasn't in it, it really would have bombed. But we love Liam. He's a wonderful actor and a terrific person. I understand. I've never met him, but I know people who have, and they said he's a gentleman. So
Well, I totally believe that, and I also know Pam Anderson is at least when I've directed her, she was great and just wonderful, sweet lady. And but it wasn't their fault that Seth MacFarlane devised this whole thing to take over the franchise.
Yeah, I didn't like
my
that.
daughter,
So,
my daughter worked with Pam for a long time over at Platinum. Platinum is
like a management company or
no,
something.
it's a management company, and Leslie, my daughter, was her agent,
Handler.
and she said Pam was wonderful and very
Yeah.
sweet.
Okay, I
And she
believe
took
that.
off her big engagement ring and said to Leslie, "Here, try it on." So Leslie said, "Oh my God, it weighs a ton."
Oh,
Anyway, Pam was she liked her a lot.
So all the things that you've done, who do you think? Who's the funniest person you ever worked with?
well, I think that you can't call them funny. I mean, Peter Graves was not funny, and
Right.
even Leslie
Mm.
Nielsen was not funny, but Leslie Nielsen was such a brilliantly talented actor that the lines just worked beautifully, and he knew enough not to put any spin on it. Uh, Lloyd Bridges was terrifically funny
Oh, I
because
love Lloyd Bridges.
he had great material to do, and it was all my movies have been a big collaboration. It's and I loved working with Charlie Sheen because he absolutely knew where the joke was, but he ignored the whole thing uh, of comedy. And one of my directions that I give most is forget that you're in a comedy. And Charlie just knew that, intrinsically. He totally, you can't tell the difference between his acting style between Platoon and Scary Movie. Scary Movie 3.
I learned a long time ago. It was called hitting the button. You set up a joke, but you have to know exactly when to hit the button to get the joke to go. If you don't have that kind of timing, you're never going to be a stand-up. You can't be, because then you fall flat on your face. I've watched many a stand-up person ramble on, and you can't do that. So I think the people that you're talking about are so qualified. My God, they're vintage, wonderful actors. Instinctively, they know. And a
Well,
good
and sometimes any of these guys can be funny. I think that Liam Neeson, because we happen to be talking about Liam, he is
oh shit,
Oh,
you
no.
froze.
generally one of our rules is that you don't use those guys in spoof. You have to use B actors, really. And just I don't think Dustin Hoffman or Al Pacino would be especially funny in a spoof. And so the people who did Naked Gun 4, of course, they don't know that. They want
Right.
to, all they can do is say at the outset, okay, we're going to replace Leslie Nielsen. And the script I wrote with Pat Proft for, which would have been Naked Gun 4, did not have a Leslie Nielsen character. It was a
But
young
David,
character.
David,
let him finish.
let's tell the truth, you and I. Okay? Years
Sure.
ago, you hired an actor for his ability. Today, you hire an actor because of his popularity. And Neeson was put in there because of his popularity, certainly not because of his ability. And that's what was so sad when I watched the movie. I said, look at this wonderful talent, good actor. And look what they've done with him. They've tried to make him Leslie Nielsen, and it couldn't work.
Yes,
And
you hit it on the head. A terrible idea to, well, I would say at the outset to try to replace Leslie Nielsen, because you can't. I mean, that was an old idea.
impossible.
It was an old idea from 1982, and we were able to do it, 3 times with some success in the Naked Gun, but you can't back to that. You have to do something original. So our idea was not even to have the character be in an LA cop station. It was, we were going to do, James Bond, Born Identity, and Mission Impossible. Totally different.
Totally
genre.
different.
Do
Yeah.
something original with a 30-something actor. But if you have no imagination and if you're a hack, you just try to replace Leslie Nielsen and do the
Right.
same
But
role.
also in your movie, all the actors were directed to be deadpan.
Yeah.
So everything that you could have thrown a pie in Presley's face and she would have to act deadpan no matter what. So
Right.
that's what made your movie funny also, is that everybody was walking comatose, like what's going on? Ha, ha, ha. And then suddenly something happens funny. I enjoyed them. I mean, I've watched them a few times because I know the dialogue.
Which
So
is
I'm not blowing smoke up your ass or bullshitting you.
Which I always appreciate smoke being blown up my ass. Yeah.
Oh well, you'll have to get somebody else to do it.
Thank you. Yes.
So
But
wait, so
no, I sincerely enjoy. I wish there were more. I wish you could make them again.
Well, I will, but I'm not going to do the same old shit. I've got, Oktoberfest, and I've got Star of Malta, and actually we've repurposed our naked. It's called Counterintelligence, spelled with one L and a J. And so, I hope to someday be able to do that.
I hope so
Because
too.
David, the world is starving for comedy.
Good comedy.
Good comedy. Everybody wants to be happy and laugh again. Unfortunately, with things that are going on, we're not able. It's a sad world today, and film is sad because, oh, Jesus Christ. We watched a movie the other night. They shot it such low key. I didn't know who the actors were. I couldn't see their face because the lighting was drop dead down low key. Why? What is this? A new kind of bullshit? We saw it in 2 movies. I had to walk out because I couldn't tell. And the sad part was black people didn't look at all. They just looked like black images. You couldn't see features. So what is Hollywood doing with this low-key shooting?
I don't know. It's a mistaken emphasis on technical pizzazz, which is another one of the ZAZ rules that we.
There you go. I
Yeah.
like that. Wait, I didn't tell before when we were talking about naked comedy too. To tell people, how do they actually see it? Are you on like all the?
It's
past
on
platforms?
YouTube.
Okay.
I think I don't have this thing in front of me, but if they can go,
So they can just Google on YouTube David Zucker
Google naked comedy with David Zucker, and then that you can.
And I'd put your name up there with Mel. I would. I'd say yours creative as Mel Brooks's.
Well, I can't really say that because I've always
Well,
thought
I can. You
I
can.
was better than Mel, but you can actually. I'm glad to hear you say that.
That was terrific. So wait, so you've directed some of the most quoted comedies ever made. When a stranger comes up to you and quotes one of your movies to you, which line makes you smile the most?
Well, it's I smile, but I like hearing that. I like hearing that people still remember it. The line I get most is, "Surely you can't be serious," usually, or "I picked the wrong week to," and whatever they say. But though I think it's nice. I mean, it's nice whenever I get recognized because too often I'm just ignored. So I'm pretty desperate to get recognized.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Which I'll segue into that since that's the line. You have 2 books. One of them is called Surely, but they spelled Surely. Surely You Can't Be Serious, The True Story of Airplane. So you guys, it's on Amazon. And
Surely you can't be serious.
Yeah, we wrote this book a couple of years ago, and if I do say myself, it's great. It's fabulous. It's so funny, just the book, and it's a great story. And and it's actually not because we're so great, but it is inspiring because because we just knew nothing when we started, and we learned on the way. So and we learned not to be intimidated by uniforms. So we just figured there was nothing that could stop us, and we're going to do it. And that's part of the point of the book, which I think is a valuable thing.
I mean, look at the fun you had with that line. Surely you can't be serious. Don't call me Shirley. I mean, play on words that really work.
It's a very unique idea
Wonderful.
for a book.
I mean, I laugh at it just thinking back at that movie.
So he's got.
So, wait a minute. When you can think back at a movie and enjoy it without watching it because it's in your mind, you made a good movie.
I love it. So you have two books, though. You have another book. It's called. Got a very long title. It's called "Before the Invention of Smiling: The Incredible Journey of the Zucker Family from Horse and Buggy to Indoor Plumbing." Right.
I'm a big history buff, and so I kind of thought about my own family's history, and I would I'm one of 10 first cousins, and my grandmother was one of 8 children who were born in Hungary, and they immigrated to America in 1909, and none of them talked about the old country except my grandmother. And I was the only one of her 10 grandkids to listen because I'm just fascinated. And she would tell these stories. Finally, I got it all on tape, and I sat on it for 20 years. And then I had a transcript made from it. And I decided to write a book about it. And I got all my family pictures, put it into it. And it's funny. Of course, I add a little bit of humor to it. But it's 4 chapters.
Are you from Brooklyn or the Bronx?
I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
No way are you from Milwaukee.
Yeah, we come from the middle of the country. Yeah,
there are Jews in Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, there's Jewish communities in all these places like St. Louis, Detroit, Milwaukee, as well as the big cities.
Because Brooklyn, that's all we were, Jewish and Italian. There was nobody else.
So,
all right, go ahead. No, you can go ahead and finish.
Well, we a lot of times, Jerry and Jim and I credit that we came from Milwaukee which really helped us, I think, in our careers, because Milwaukee was a place where things came to, not where things came from. So, and we figured we were throwing everything back, and we were not as cool as the guys that grew up in L.A. or New York or even Brooklyn, and so it was great. You can only come out of nowhere once, and that's what Airplane was one of the greatest things, one of the greatest experience, because that it was we really came from nowhere, which so much fun.
So,
but I repeat, you're born with that sort of humor. You cannot acquire it.
Well, we were, because in Milwaukee, you had to have a self-deprecatory sense of humor. We laughed at ourselves, and this was what Robert Stack was doing in Airplane. He was laughing at himself.
Exactly.
And it's a credit to those guys that they were willing to do that. Now, Liam Neeson, I mean, he's such a great actor. It's just not appropriate for him to laugh at him. What's there to laugh at? He's so brilliant. Anyways.
I don't think he has a sense of humor. I have never met him, but I'm sure if I did and I spent some time with him, I would find that he does not have a sense of humor.
Well, I don't know that. I don't know that that's true. I bet I could spend a half hour with him and he'd have a great sense of humor. I think that's beside the point. I think anything that happened with Naked Gun 4 is not his fault.
Oh, I agree with that. It's not.
Now let's talk. You said dramatic actors. I knew Betty Davis, okay? No one believes me when I say she was the funniest woman you would ever meet. Betty Davis had one-liners always. I don't know if she dreamt it at night and couldn't wait to use them the next day, or she was just so smart that she was able to create these one-liners while talking to you. You could meet her for the first 5 minutes and she's got one-liners. So I just think it's an inborn thing. Did you think that Betty Davis would be funny? No, right? Such a
I
dramatic-
can't even imagine. I mean, she's such from a different era, and I think she's probably too good to be funny. You know, it's just
She was very funny.
I gravitate toward B actors. You know, it just
No, Betty.
I like the
No,
B
Betty,
actors too.
Betty Davis loved a dirty joke. She used the word fuck often. She was very down to earth off camera and at a studio.
that's nice to hear. Did she really hate Joan Crawford that much?
Actually, I never went there with that conversation because she was not comfortable with it. So I wouldn't know. But from what I gather, she used it. She knew it worked and it made people laugh. And I think she used it. The both of them, I think, used it. I don't
But-
think they just liked each other as much as.
Having a sense of humor and being able to tell a joke and being able to make somebody laugh really is not related to how funny they can be in a spoof. And that's, you know, spoof is
Right.
what I know about. And it just, I think it doesn't matter a lot. And Leslie was very funny on these talk shows doing the fart machine, but I don't remember him ever telling jokes or being funny off camera in that way.
Well, Betty was sarcastic and her jokes were very sarcastic. Now, Jane Russell told me that the media and the studios created that fight between she and Marilyn Monroe. Jane said, I liked Marilyn very much. She was like my kid sister. While we were filming Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, she needed a lot of help because she was neurotic and very insecure and a problem child. And Jane Russell, being a tough old broad, she took care of Marilyn. So that rumor that the feud between it was all bullshit. It was Hollywood. And Jane resented that. She also resented the fact that they said she was a 36B boob when she was really, that she was bigger than 36B. She made it very clear that she was a 36B. She was never a cow, she used to say.
You said 36B both times.
No, but I made a mistake.
Okay.
Oh, you know, a lot of that, what you can say is, you know, that's Hollywood. So
Yes.
Yeah, I know,
again,
but
I hate to harp on.
I think
Maybe
Hollywood.
let it fit, wait, let it
again,
finish.
Sure.
But they, you know, the studio ginned up a romance between Liam and Pam. And it's just like, that was so pathetic and so desperate. And of course there was no romance at all. But it just reminded me of how pathetic it was that they, you know, the studio, you know, 50 years ago made Rock Hudson get married, you know, so.
I knew him. And Rock Hudson was not off camera. Rock Hudson was not the man he was on camera.
He was a fine actor. Yeah.
No, but off camera, he was like a sissy man.
Yeah. But that's why he's such a great actor. I just know him as Rock Hudson.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's Rock Hudson. All right.
But we knew him. We knew him from the gay bar in Hollywood. He used to hang out at the Rose Tattoo, or La Vie en Rose, one of those roses. And he was very, very flippy and very.
So, all right, we got two more quick ones because we got to go. One comedy that everybody should watch.
Of mine or of
Well, it could be, but maybe one of each. One of yours.
okay. Everybody should watch Groundhog Day.
Good movie.
For a wonderful, you know, structured and just a great movie. Tootsie is another great comedy.
Yeah.
And of mine, I mean, of course, you know, everybody
Airplane.
should probably watch Airplane, but there's another one that's very obscure that nobody has seen that I love, that I did, which was An American Carol.
Okay. Oh, I haven't seen that. I don't
And
think
it's
so I
a
have to look it up.
it's a funny movie, and totally flatlined at the box office, but it's a good movie. I mean, it's because of the material that we did. We were, making fun of politics.
Okay. And then, if you could direct one comedian from any era, living or dead, who would it be?
I would be I couldn't direct a comedian. I wouldn't know what to do.
That's true. You can't.
That's
Yeah,
a
I
good
just- I
answer.
No, you cannot direct a comedian.
So, you guys, this is
No.
David Zucker. You guys can follow him on Instagram. He's at the David Zucker. Check out Naked Comedy, the podcast on YouTube. Check out his 2 books, Surely You Can't Be Serious, The True Story of Airplane, and Before the Invention of Smiling, The Incredible Journey of the Zucker Family from Horse and Buggy to Indoor Plumbing. They're both on Amazon, right?
Yes.
They're both available on Amazon. And be on the lookout for Star of Malta and Oktoberfest. They'll be coming out soon. And we want to thank you for coming back on the show. It's always a pleasure.
Anytime.
You're such a great talent. So thank you so much.
And I'm looking forward to you making me laugh again.
I certainly hope so.
There you go.
I know so. You will, David.
I
know
love
you
it.
will.
Thank you so much.
You're an enormous talented man, and I respect you tremendously. And that was
Thank
nice
you.
to say.
I mean,
I'm
you're
not usually this nice.
I know, but I love when you blow smoke up my ass. That's just so. I love that. Yeah.
David.
Thank you so much,
Thank
David.
you, David, for coming
Great
on.
to see you. Thank you very much.
Great
Bye-bye.
seeing
Bye-bye.
you, buddy. Good seeing you.
What a great guy.
What a nice guy.
What a
So
talented guy.
Talented. Oh my
I
God.
can't wait for his new film, especially the noir
So
one.
talented. He just had one hit after another.
So, you guys, we're going to take a quick music break. This time we're going to play Maximum Tronic, Our Last Kiss. I love Maximum Tronic. They're coming on the show at the end of the month. And so enjoy Maximum Tronic, Our Last Kiss, and we'll be back in a second.
You pour another glass of wine and tell yourself that everything will be fine. And I watch my life like some TV show, and I cry for you like you know I would. You light up another cigarette, and you say some things that I'll never forget. But I can't walk away like some kind of fool, and I take a hit like you know I would. And I never thought we'd be this, and I never knew I'd hate you. Who would have thought our last kiss was the last time for happiness? And I never thought we'd be here, and I never knew I'd hate you. Who would have thought our last kiss was the last shot at happiness? You scream as you punch out the door, and I hold my head while I fall to the floor. And I say to myself, there's more life than this. And I pray to myself that it's gonna stop. You cry when you see just what you've done, and you hold my hand so there's nowhere to run. And I stay right here like some kind of fool, and I'll wipe your tears like you know I would. And I never thought we'd be this, and I never knew I'd hate you. Who would have thought our last kiss was the last time for happiness? And I never thought we'd be here, and I never knew I'd hate you. Who would have thought our last kiss was the last shot at happiness?
So that's Maximus Tronic, you guys. That's Mark Loverush's husband's writer name. And I'm not sure the name of the singer, but I love that song. It's so much fun. So I like to play it every once in a while on the show. And we're going to have our next guest come in soon. It's a little bit early yet. We have 3 minutes. So we can talk about something else. What would you like to talk about?
Like I said, my favorite subject.
You. Okay, so.
I used to do that joke in my show. You know, I pause and look at the audience and say nothing for a minute or two. And then I'd say, okay, what are we going to talk about? Let's talk about my favorite subject, me. And the audience, of course, always laughed at that. They enjoyed it. When you make fun of yourself in comedy, people laugh. If you make fun of others, people stop and think about it. And if they are not offended, they laugh. So it's tricky. Better to make fun of yourself. Joan Rivers made a wonderful career out of making fun of herself and her vagina and her sex life and her everything. Then she began talking about other people and making fun of other people. But in the early days, she talked about self. Don Rickles did the same thing in the beginning. So you had to know your audience. When I worked Brooklyn, I knew my audience was rough and tough, and I could have a tougher show. But when I worked Connecticut and places like that, I knew not to, because the white bread people are very sensitive, and they have no sense of humor sometimes. You got to wait for them to get a little drunk before they have a humor. But it's all a game. You have to plan where you're going, and it's not easy because you don't know that you're going to be a hit. You don't know that people are going to laugh at your jokes. And what could be more humiliating than to get out on a stage, do a joke, and no one laughs, and you stand there with egg on your face. So David Zucker doesn't care. Like he said, he goes forward. He doesn't give a crap about what people think. And that's what you have to do nowadays, because being a stand-up comic is not easy. You have to...
That's what Matt Rife does, too, and he's probably the best comedian out right now.
You have to dance around it. Be careful. It's terrible, because that's what the world has become. The world has become critical, far more critical than funny.
Instead of just having a good time with everything.
If I had to go back to doing stand-up, I think I would clear a room. I don't think people would sit there and find me funny at all. Because my humor today would be very, I don't know what you'd call it, but it wouldn't be funny. Maybe it would, I don't know.
One of the movies, too, when Ron was talking about the movies with the low-key light that it was hard to see everybody, was Devil Wears Prada, too. Like,
it was horrible.
I loved the movie, but you couldn't see anything. Like, half
Horrible.
the movie was terrible. You couldn't see, you couldn't see the characters. It was so dark. And there was another one we watched, too. I forgot the other one. But whatever it was, you couldn't see the people
best
at all.
one was the black girl in the world. She was alone. She couldn't talk.
Oh, yes.
I mean, that was the best because she's black. And the camera,
Lupita Nyong'o, or
the
whatever her
lighting
name
was
is.
so low. All you saw was her teeth and her eyeballs. I mean, really, didn't the DP see that? This is an actress. You can't do that. You have to light her. Anyway, they didn't. And when she was in the shadows, all you saw, as I said, were her teeth. Terrible.
I want to look at it. Let's see. I'm looking for the name of that movie because it would have been a great movie.
It was a one-title
If you
name.
could have seen us, it would have been a great movie, but it wasn't. And it was the A Quiet Place Day One. You guys, it was the sequel to A Quiet Place. It was the prequel to A Quiet Place, and it would have been a great movie, but you couldn't see anybody really.
Awful.
Jeff
What are
Caperton
they
says maybe you
doing?
need to adjust your TV.
Huh?
He says maybe you need to adjust your TV.
Who?
Jeff said maybe you need to adjust
Jeff
your
who?
TV. Jeff Caperton.
I should adjust my TV.
Yeah, we tried that. It didn't work.
It didn't work, Jeff.
It's funny. All right, so now we're going to bring on our next guest. Let's see if he comes in and we can hear him. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh, good. We can hear you well. Nicely lit. Terrific. It makes me happy. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor, producer, writer, Lester G. Reynolds. Hello, and welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me. It's truly an honor.
So this is my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Ron Russell.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello, Ron. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you also.
And then we have people in the chat room. Just say hi to the chat room.
Hello, everyone in the chat and everyone on our live streams. Thank you
There you
guys
go.
for joining.
So where are you actually? Where do you live?
I live in a little town called Alamogordo, New Mexico.
Okay. One thing I'm surprised because a lot of the movies you've been in, we have been to premieres of several of the different ones, and we're friends with like many of the stars of all those movies. So I'm kind of surprised that we've never actually met each other in any of the different events. And the reason I actually picked you out originally is I saw you did a new movie with called Shark Frenzy with David Chokachi, and about 2 months ago I went to one of his premieres. He was in a movie called oh shit, I forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of it, but he had a movie with Sean Kanan that just came out, and he's been on the show like at least 3 times, and he came to our Clown Motel 2 premiere when we did Clown Motel 2. He's a really great guy, and I saw you were in it, and I was like, oh, and then I looked at your IMDb, and you're basically been in movies with like almost like half all the famous people who are in the movies that you've been in are all been on our show, and I just thought it would be fun to invite you and say hi. So hello and welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Our community is so small that eventually, we would have eventually met, but as fate would have it, here we are, my friend, and I couldn't be more honored.
There you go. I love it. So let's talk about Shark Frenzy for a second, because I'm a big David Chokachi fan. I don't know if you know, like he's back on Baywatch. Baywatch is going to come out in January, I think. And he's not one of the lifeguards. He owns the bar that all the lifeguards hang out in. So it's kind of like in Tom Cruise in Top Gun, how like he kind of went back and goes out with the girl who's in the bar and everything. But David Chokachi's a really cool guy, and he's a great actor. He's really good. David Chokachi.
He is, and I poked fun at him the whole time we were filming Shark Frenzy, because I told him how much he looks like Martin Cove and Jesse Cove. And so ironically, he's really good friends with them. And so while we were filming Shark Frenzy, he was actually getting ready to go back on the reboot of Baywatch. And I mean, so in between takes, he was always doing the push-ups, and, early in the morning, he would do his cold plunges, and he was like, dude, you got to do this. And I was like, I don't want to jump in cold water, brother.
So hold on, so David Chokachi's on Baywatch, and he came to our premiere of Clown Motel 2,
right?
And he's been on the show at least, I think, 3 times at least. That he's been on the show. We actually did a really long show with him where we had him on for like 2 hours, and we did a bunch of his movies and stuff. But he's really cool. So how did you like Shark Frenzy, and do you get in the water in Shark Frenzy? Like, I'm afraid. I watch all the shark movies that come on, so I'm afraid to go into the water. I don't go into the water.
Well, the thing about this film is kind of crazy. A little bit of history about the film. The guys that did this film actually did the original Sharknado films. And so, the original Sharknado film, it kind of became a cult classic, and it just took off like gangbusters.
We have friends in all of them. Every one of them. Cassie Scorbo's been on the show. We've had a ton of those people on the show.
And I thought when I first heard about this, I said, how ridiculous. What stupidity is this? Sharks flying from the air to bite. What the fuck are they doing? Little did I know, did I?
Yeah, but it was it's fun.
It was very, very successful. And so what the people with, it's called The Asylum. And there was a lady, her name is Pauline Jones, and Quentin Abraham. They came in, they produced this thing. Ryan D. Ebert, he was the director. Miles Channing, he was the cinematographer, just a phenomenal cinematographer. And then, David Chokachi and Serafina King, she was King. Yeah, she's from Criminal Minds.
Who is she on Criminal Minds?
She was on a couple of the episodes. She had a recurring role, and just a phenomenal actress. And so, this film came to New Mexico, and when I saw the casting, I reached out to him and said, hey, I want to audition, but I don't swim. And so originally my role was the dry land guy, and so, I was supposed to be on dry land. And for whatever reason, what happened, because the premise of the film is David Chokachi and his wife, they go on a vacation with their
Actually,
family.
you don't have to tell us the whole premise because we're going to play the trailer for it in a second.
Copy that. Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's the premise. But did you
you
stay the dry land guy?
No, I did not, because the role that I wound up in, the guy had a scheduling conflict and they needed to recast his role and couldn't find anyone. So they just extended my role and gave me both. And so, yes, I wound up in the water, 20-foot deep water, cannot swim a lick.
You really can't swim.
No, I really can't. But, they asked me to do it and I did it. And, they looked out for me. They made sure, that I was well taken care of, but it still didn't make me not afraid.
We have a friend. He's a director. He's very big independent director. His name's Marcel Waltz. And he has done a ton of movies for the Asylum lately. He's done, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 films for the Asylum lately, on top of his own films that are all like award-winning. Great. Do you know Marcel? Have you ever met Marcel?
I have not met him, but I do know Jared Cohn. Okay. And Jared Cohn is also with the Asylum, and we did the Hitman film I did with Billy Zane and them that I'm sure we'll talk about later.
Oh, that one's Deadly Vows.
Deadly Vows, yes.
Yeah, that one's got people that I like a lot in it. Actually, Tyler Gallant's been on the show. Shane West has been on the show. We've met Billy Zane. I've never met Peter Facinelli, but I would love to.
He is an incredible guy. And so now, hopefully, I'm one of your favorite actors, too.
There you go. So here, what we're going to do, you introduce, hey, Juan, we're going to play the Shark Frenzy trailer just because I want to promote David Chokachi because he's a cool guy also. And you introduce the trailer, and then hang on, we're going to play it for everybody.
Okay, no worries. Hello, everybody. I'm Lester G. Reynolds, and we're getting ready to play the trailer to our new film, Shark Frenzy.
Hey, nothing's biting here. Did you use your super jump?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna tip the boat! Brad! Tell me something's going to get on board! You're my 18-year-old daughter. You're not going on a boat with some dude you just met at the beach.
Are you ready for this? Let's go.
Hand over the phones.
Did Danny go out while I was in the shower? His room's empty.
What?
They won't see you in here.
Let's rub these puppies up, huh?
Danny.
Look out, the boat! Dad!
There's a hole in the bottom of the boat.
So many sharks!
We are gonna find them.
The boat is sinking.
No!
Best to be prepared.
I love it. I love all the shark movies. I think they're fun. Even the low budget ones, I think they're fun. I don't know exactly how they do it all, but Marcel's been doing a lot of the movies with like the CGI and stuff, and I think it's like super cool. So I just enjoy it. Do you like horror movies?
It depends. I don't like the ones, with all the blood and the gore. And I think what happened to me is early on as a kid, I watched Jaws when I was 4 years old. I stayed up and watched it. I was laying in the hall and my parents were watching HBO. I was supposed to be in the bed. So it kind of scarred me when I was younger, but I love all the Freddy Krueger films. I love the Friday the 13th series. I like those. And even the one back in the day is Shocker. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah, I remember. I'm a huge horror person.
That really scared me.
What about Hellraiser?
You said you were 4.
Oh, yeah. Hellraiser was good, too. I like those.
You said you were 4 years old when you saw that film?
Oh, yeah. I was young.
I was about 12,
I was 35 when I saw that film. Oh, my God.
But yeah, Shark Frenzy is a really, really good film. And ironically, Marcel Waltz, he did a film called Shark Thrash.
Yeah, I saw it.
They filmed theirs the week before ours, and we filmed it here. And all of this was filmed in New Mexico. And when you see us on the boat, we're actually on a boat in a parking lot. It never hit the water.
Oh, that's cool.
It's crazy.
Cool. It's crazy what they can do. And he just had a premiere last week for Anathema, another film that we got invited to, but we were unable to attend. So you've also done a bunch of Mahal Brothers films. Wait, before I ask you that though, like who were your biggest acting and acting? Like, how did you decide you're going to become an actor, and who were your influences growing up? Like that what made you decide, and what did you do before you were an actor?
Well, the thing is, before I was an actor, I had what people call a real job. I did a lot of different things. I did customer service. I started out bagging groceries back in the day when they still had bag boys. Went to school, went to college for a little while, but growing up when I was younger, entertainment's always been in my blood because I'm actually very closely related to Johnny Cash and his family. June Carter Cash is my grandmother's third cousin. So, entertainment's kind of always been in our blood. It was always music. But then, the acting bug hit me when I was in school, started doing theater. And I never really thought I could do it because, I lived in Tennessee. In order to do that, you have to audition and you have to be in a big market area, and we weren't. So long story short, when I turned about 28, 29 years old, I went through a bad divorce and decided, you know what? I'm going to LA. And I went to LA with a little backpack and wound up into, doing background extra work, through
Everybody does that at the beginning.
Yeah. Through central casting, and just worked my way up, caught the attention of some really big folks along the way. Will Smith was one of them. He and his team, they mentored me for about a year, and I just worked, and I just learned everything that I could. And I started meeting people. I met Carol Burnett. We had a wonderful conversation. I worked with Dennis Hopper. He gave me some incredible advice. And I just basically just took all the pearls of wisdom and I turned it into what I've got now.
Which is it's really a cool thing that you've done all of that. So you've done some Mahal Brothers films. We're friends with unfortunately, Michael's no longer here. But you did Alien Horde. That's the newest one, right? Is that the newest one?
It is. It's Alien Horde, Cursed Waters. I also was part of several others. And so the thing is, every time
Alien
that
Storm too.
Yeah.
Didn't they have Alien Horde, Alien Storm, and Cursed Waters?
Yes.
So let's go one at a time, because Alien Horde, we see Don Wilson at the Academy Award party usually every year. But John Wells has been on our show. Brandon Slagle, James Duvall, Vernon Wells, Ron did a movie with. Andrew Divoff has not been on the show, but Caitlin Newberry's been on the show, and Robert Lasardo is a really good friend of ours.
Right. And I saw also you guys are affiliated with our dear friend Tom Sizemore that's no longer with us.
Absolutely. Yes.
And I did some things with Tom as well. Back in the day, I worked on a film with him. It was called Red. And I was actually his
about
body
the dog.
double. Yes.
That's the movie about the dog. Oh my God. Ron can't see that movie because he would like freak out because we're dog people.
No.
Yeah, I was his body double and I was his stand-in. And Tom was just an incredibly good guy.
Tom was the nicest guy in the world.
He was.
I felt bad for him at times when we were in his company because he was so not himself.
He wasn't. And so, that's kind of what was happening back then. He was having some struggles, and I hated to see it for him, but the time that I got to spend with him, you have those moments where you can look through the window and he was himself. And it was in those are the moments that I love more than everything.
Yeah,
nice,
we met him.
Nice guy.
We met him at one of the first Oscar parties that we went to living here. We live in Palm Springs. We don't live in LA, but we live in Palm Springs. But we would see him at all the different premieres and stuff too. And he was super nice. At least he was super nice to everybody, I think. So
he was on our show too.
No, he didn't do our show. No, he didn't do our
How
show.
come Tom never did?
Because he was going to come on and he passed away.
Yeah,
unfortunately. So let's talk about Cursed Waters then too, because I didn't realize that it was written by B.J. Mezek and Adam Worth. I knew Adam Worth when I lived in Florida, and B.J. Mezek and his wife are really good friends of ours.
Very good friends of ours.
And we love B.J. to death. But again, you have this great cast: John Wells, who's been on our show. Vernon Wells has been on our show. Robert Lasardo has been on our show. Tom Proctor. I'm a publicist for my everyday job.
Right.
And he was one of my clients for many years. Donnelly Heising, Michael Pare, which Ron knew in the old days, and Glenn Plummer and Costas Mandylor. And I love Costas Mandylor. He's just a lot of fun. And I'm a big Saw movie, so I like the Saw movies a lot. And so Cursed Waters is out, or it's about to come out.
Well, the thing is, they were working on 2 films when Michael Mahal passed away. And so things were kind of up in the air for a little while. And, you know, there's a great cinematographer. You've probably met him too, especially if you're affiliated with all these folks with the Mahal Empire. And that would be Michael Sue.
Yeah, he's great.
And Michael Sue was the cinematographer for our Hitman film that I did, Deadly Vows, as well. And so I finally had a chance to meet him there. But let me explain to you how I'm affiliated with Mahal Empire. I started financially supporting Mahal Films about 5 or 6 years ago. And so, you know, they do a lot of things, crowdfunding. I mean, they were the kings of that platform.
Absolutely.
And so he built their entire, you know, film legacy by doing that. And he just pioneered that whole platform. And so Michael and I, we had a lot of conversations because he was trying to figure out how to incorporate me into the cast because, you know, at the time they were doing a lot of non-union productions. And at the time I wasn't non-union, I was SAG. And so the only way that I could support was from a distance. And so I financially supported and give them enough money to where, you know, I got producer credits and things of that nature. And they would send me, you know, perks, and they would send me trailers of the films, and they would keep me updated. I never visited any of the sets, but I know the stories were always incredible. And I know the last 2 films is Alien Horde and Cursed Waters. And I know that the Sonny Mahal.
Are you FICOR then?
I am now. I sure am. I am
Okay.
FICOR. I went FICOR about 1.5 years ago. And ironically, you know, I'm representing myself. I don't have a team. I've been finding all these things through the grace of God in my relationships.
No, that's what we do too, though. We don't.
No.
I mean, Ron's in a ton of stuff, and he gets it all just from people know who he is, and he's a great actor too. I'm sure you're.
I know who he is. They want me for my voice, my accent, and my Brooklyn tough. I play Mafia all the friggin' time.
He plays Mafia as priests. No, you've played Mafia and priests in general in Clown Motel 2 and 3. He plays General Milan. He gets killed in the third one. He plays gangster. Yeah, he's most known for playing gangsters.
Well, I know with Alien Horde, and I know with the Cursed Waters, I know that that Michael and them, they came out to LA. They rented some sound stages. They had some amazing sound stages out there. I mean, all the boats and everything. And then they green screened in a lot of the other stuff. But, you know, Robert Lasardo, you know, he was part of it. Tom, I forget Tom's last name, but he was Rosie O'Donnell's husband. He was in Alien Storm.
Oh yeah, Tom Arnold.
Yeah, Tom Arnold, and then
Kevin Sorbo, Glenn Plummer.
Yeah. Kevin Sorbo, Hercules.
I love Kevin Sorbo, actually.
Tom Arnold, was he married to? No, he was married to the other one,
Roseanne.
He was married to Roseanne.
Roseanne, not Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, well, I meant Roseanne.
Yeah,
oh, okay. I thought
Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, sometimes my brain works faster than my tongue.
I love it. I think it's hilarious. So you also did Deadly Vows then. Deadly Vows, Peter Facinelli. I'm a big Peter Facinelli fan. I'm a big Twilight fan. You know, I know that's a geeked out thing, but I love Twilight. Shane West is phenomenal. He did this movie. What is the name?
A Walk to Remember?
A Walk to Remember. Yes, how did you know that?
Because I just worked with Shane.
No, A Walk to Remember literally is one of the greatest, kind of like love story, you know, drama movies ever. It's such a good with Mandy Moore, and I had met her a bunch of times. And so it's really good. Billy Zane, you know, we met Billy Zane a bunch of times at parties, but he's not the nicest.
Billy, believe it or not, Billy was a really good guy. He was very gracious with his time. You know, in the film, you know, Deadly Vows, I had just did a film with Mel Gibson 2 years prior. And so when I was going through Actors Access and I was looking for work, I saw this one for Deadly Vows. It wasn't called that at the time. And I recognized one of the producers. And so they were looking for local hires only. And I'm here in New Mexico. And so I reached out to them and said, hey, this is how you guys will know me. I know you're looking for local hires, but I would love to audition. And so I didn't think they were going to audition me, but lo and behold, they did. And not only did they audition me, but several people went to bat for me. Peter Facinelli was one of them. Luna Zhang was one of the producers. She went to bat for me. Even Shore Agashledu, she was in it. She went to bat for me. And lo and behold, they hired me. And then first thing that happened when I got there,
Explain to everybody real quick what's a local hire for people who don't know.
local hire means that basically they treat you as if though you already live in that area, so that way they don't cover expenses. So if you're going to do this and they hire you, you're agreeing to come wherever it is they're filming, and you pay your own living expenses for the duration of the time you're there doing the project.
Absolutely. So where did they shoot? And where did they shoot Deadly Vows?
We shot all over LA, parts of Hollywood, even in West Hollywood. It was all over the place. And so this film was based on a true story. And so I, of course, got cast as the hitman. And so Peter Facinelli plays an abusive husband to Shiva Nagar. And Shiva Nagar plays the wife. And so he's very abusive. They wind up in a really bad divorce. And so he decides he's going to take her out. So he hires me to kill her and the kids. He wants it gone. He wants it done. He's just jealous. No one can, if he can't have her, no one can. Shane West is a longtime friend that then, as the film progresses, he becomes a love interest.
We're going to do the trailer for this one too, because I did 2 trailers.
You should.
Because I like this one because I'm a big Shane West fan. He's really cool. And it's so funny that you knew A Walk to Remember and Red. I mean, I can't believe like Red, because Red was a really, I've seen it like 3 times. And I the part where the unfortunate things happen to the dog, I don't like that, but I like all the stuff that the guy does after that to get back at all the people who killed the dog. And like that show, I loved it. So that part was really good. But let's do, hey Juan, we're going to do the Deadly Vows trailer real quick. Just introduce the trailer and we'll be right back.
All right, this is Lester G. Reynolds, and we are getting ready to show you our trailer for Deadly Vows.
There you go.
Hey, she's with me.
Am I?
I don't know, do you want to be?
I now pronounce you man and wife.
Cover yourself, okay? Put something on.
Please, let me drive them.
I'm not a child.
Then stop acting like one. This has to stop.
That's what's in it.
In front of my children!
I don't want to be like you used to hit me.
What are you doing? What's in the bag?
If she dies, I got no problem with that.
What is important is that you and your children find some place that you can stay for a few weeks.
Where are we going?
This is a burner phone. Keep it someplace safe. Don't call your dad.
We should pack up and we should get out of here right now. He threatened to have you beaten and killed.
The fact that he would want to harm me, the mother of his children?
They can't have you. No one else will.
What if he would have been successful with his plan? Where would our daughter be now?
He goes to jail for a few months. He's only going to come out worse.
I'm afraid for you.
Lie on the ground. Get on the ground right now.
Surprise.
I love it. I really do. I like Shane West a lot. Billy Zane, I could take or leave, but I like Shane West a lot. And Peter Facinelli, I really like.
Let me tell you something
also
about Billy Zane, all right? If he's on camera and he's being paid and he's in his studio, he's a sweetheart. I saw him socially up at Sue Wong's parties. He's not nice.
He wasn't nice to any of us.
He's just a snob. Walked around, you tried to talk to him, he ignored you. He thinks who the fuck he is because he's 6'10", bald, and unattractive. So I just thought, ugh. Anyway, you have to be careful when you're an actor. You must always, Lana Turner said to me, remember one thing, Ron, all people are wonderful. All people are talented, all people are terrific, and you love everybody, then you'll go far in our business. But when you're off camera and you're not nice to the GP, look at this. I'm blasting him with 5 million people watching. So he made a huge mistake. He didn't know who I was, and he blew me off because he thought I was nobody. Or maybe he thought I was going to try to hit on him, God forbid.
I've met people that way, and it's unfortunate. There's people that, I've wanted to meet in this business, and when you do, they disappoint you. They're not at all who you think they are.
I've only had a few of those, but like when I had them, they were bad. And
I'm the same to everybody, on camera, off camera.
Yeah. Well, that's me too. I mean, I wasn't raised that way. I'm just me, and we're all people. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you've got $100 million or if you've got nothing. It doesn't. We're all people, and so people tend to forget that. And it's unfortunate. And people, like Grandpa used to say, people get above their raising.
Yes, absolutely.
Listen, I'm from Brooklyn, and in Brooklyn, you are raised never to be a phony. The minute they find out you're a bullshit artist or a phony, you're out.
You're done.
It goes. You're out. So I learned a long time ago, don't come on strong.
No.
Be who you are.
That's
it. It shows in your work, by the way.
You have you have like 123 credits, it looks like, on IMDb. For not having an agent, that's an awful lot of credits.
It is, and
You're a hustler.
I have been my whole life, and my thing is, this is all I want to do. I'm getting ready to be 56 years old. When I was 28 years old, I had my neck broken at C6 and 7. I was laying in a hospital bed, and the doctor told me I had a 95% chance I was going to die on the operating table.
Wow.
Well, at 28 years old, you lay there and you think about everything you did not have the courage to do in this life. And I know most people don't believe in God, but somebody believes in something. And so I laid there and I prayed. I begged God for another opportunity. And I told him that if he would let me up off that bed and raise me up, I would never squander another opportunity in my life. I had to learn to walk again. I had to learn to talk again. I went through a crappy divorce. I went through so much stuff in my life. People gave up on me, and I was determined. I mean, I've often said it that I was too pissed off to die at that point because I was assaulted on a construction job. And folks have often joked with me and said I should write a book called Too Pissed Off to Die, and it'd be my life. But I do everything that I can.
Actually, it's a good idea.
It's crazy, but I mean, it's true. And I've been through a lot of things. I mean, when you get up in age, you have a lot of lived experience. And I will tell you, I've never had an acting lesson in my life. Everything that I do it comes from life, because that's what art is, right? And if it's not authentic, then like you said,
he's a great actor.
I never act.
No, me neither. Me neither.
I become.
It's either real or it's not. And that's what I tell people. It's like, and everybody's not.
The most difficult job I ever had was when I did stand-up comedy in drag as Jane Russell. Now, converting me to a beautiful woman, which I became, and everybody thought I was a woman, and doing comedy, difficult. I learned from that how to become. So my suggestion is for all men to become a woman for a day. Seriously, in private, you don't have to be public about it. Just to understand how you become. Because I could be an Indian, I could be a gangster, I could be a priest, that's still a man. Try being a woman with all the emotions of a woman, the voice. I sang in my own, I did a big show for years.
Do you know who Jane Russell is?
Oh, yeah, I know who she is.
Okay, so Jane Russell was his best friend.
Right. So
which is very cool.
I know what it is to become. And my suggestion is to become another sex. That's difficult. Anything else is acting. So when I go on set, people say to me, "You don't pay attention when I talk to you." I say, "No, I don't, because right now I'm doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting ready." They say, getting ready. I said, "Yes, I'm an actor, remember? Fuck, you think I'm here?" Oh.
Right.
And then I become the part. And everything comes natural. The accent, the motions, the demeanor. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
So you
I
have
do.
another film too, Desert Fiends, which we're friends with everybody in that one too. Did you do Desert Fiends too, or no?
I was not on it. I financially contributed to that one as well because Sean had reached out to me. They were doing crowdfunding. And so
we had them all on the show. Like I think it was for Desert. Sean's been on the show a bunch of times as part of an ensemble of people, that were in the halls. Sean, his name's Sean Phillips, right?
Sean Phillips, yes.
Yeah, Sean Phillips. Because that movie has everybody we know: Eric Roberts, Michael Pere, Robert Lasardo, Lisa Wilcox, Brett Wadner, Scout Taylor Compton, William McNamara. We've had all of them on the show.
The gang. I call them the gang.
We didn't have Spencer Breslin on or Bai Ling. Bai Ling turned me down.
Well,
Bai Ling turned me down, so she didn't come on.
That's unfortunate.
You did Don't Forget Me Tomorrow with Charlotte Kirk. Charlotte Kirk's been on the show. She was terrific.
Yeah, I did that one. Travis,
I interviewed.
I think you entered. No, I
didn't know who she was.
Yeah, I think so.
I was Travis in the red carpet movie for my friend Taya Gill, and this little woman with white boots up to her hip.
Oh no, that's Nicki Minaj.
Oh, okay.
That's he interviewed Nicki Minaj, but he didn't know who she was. It was before she was really famous.
She was a problem because she couldn't get up on the stool. She had a dirty mouth and she was so nasty. And I thought to myself, who is this creep?
So what's your favorite actor and favorite actress? Do you have one?
I have a lot, and I have one that I really and truly I would love to work with him. And people tell me all the time that we could be brothers, and that's Leonardo DiCaprio. I have yet to meet him. They did film One Battle After Another here in El Paso, which is about an hour and a half up the road from me. But I have yet to meet him. But I would absolutely love to work with him or McConaughey, either one, because they filmed The Lost Bus here as well.
Yeah, you would be really good. Like they should put you on like Dutton Ranch or Yellowstone or.
Man, I have been trying to get Taylor Sheridan's ear because the way I talk is how I talk. It's just in me. And,
yeah, you would be perfect for it, especially Dutton Ranch now, because I don't know if Yellowstone. Yellowstone, I think is done.
Well, how do you like living in New Mexico in a tiny little town?
New Mexico is kind of, believe it or not, when you say New Mexico, people don't understand the film history that's here. Right here in Alamogordo, where I live, they filmed the very first Transformers film down the street from my house. Also, Oppenheimer just filmed here in New Mexico, right up the street from me.
Yeah.
There's been several. They filmed The Lost Bus right up the road in Ruidoso. They just did Barracuda, a film with Anthony Mackie up in Las Cruces. It's an hour away from me. Albuquerque is about 3 hours from me, and Santa Fe is about 3.5.
Santa Fe. I love Santa Fe.
There is so much stuff going on here, and the film industry here is actually picking up and taking hold. And for folks like me, we have been hidden gems. People just pass us over like we're not shit. But here we are. And it's starting to pick up, and people are really starting to understand that I'm here. And
I love it.
And so, I mean, I like living here, but because it's so small, everyone knows me. And so every time I go to Walmart, every time I go to pump gas, people are like, what you got coming next? What are you doing now? Can we get a selfie? So it's
really
kind of like,
so it's really, really small.
It's small, man. It is. We have one Walmart. And everything shuts down at like 11 o'clock. So if you don't get it done by 11, you're done. Excuse me?
We live in Palm Springs and everything closes by then too. Do you have In-N-Out?
We do not have In-N-Out. I would love to have In-N-Out. We have one Burger King, one Domino's. We have two McDonald's, believe it or not, one on each side of the town, and they compete with one another.
What about Chipotle? I like Chipotle.
No, nothing. We have an Applebee's and a Chili's. That's the biggest thing we have here, and they just rebuilt the Long John Silver's that they tore down.
Oh, that I like. We don't have that. We have to drive a long way to go to Long John Silver's. We don't have that.
I would last about 10 minutes in your town.
You would not last long.
From a rope.
So wait, give us a female actor favorite female actor.
Favorite female actor that I have that I would love to work with is Zoe Saldana.
Oh, wow.
And Zoe Saldana, I mean, she's the ultimate badass in my opinion. She also
I loved her in that cross country movie she did with Britney Spears and
well, I have a very dear friend of mine, and the reason I mentioned Zoe is because my friend is Terrence Rosemore. And Terrence Rosemore and I, we came up together. We were basically homeless on the streets of LA back in 2005. And Terrence has been in, a lot more than me. He's been around the business a lot more than me. And in 2007, 2008, he came to me and he said, Lester, he said, I'm leaving LA. He said, I'm going to Atlanta. He said, I have a big opportunity to go out. Yeah. And he said, I have a big opportunity. And then, he wasn't wrong, because not long after that, the unions went on strike and it just screwed up the whole thing. But the reason I mention him is because Terrence and we literally struggled together. And Terrence has since gone on to be in all the Guardians of the Galaxy films. He was just in the latest James Gunn Superman film. He played Otis. He was in Just Mercy with Michael B. Jordan.
Great movie.
He has been in so many things, and he doesn't really know how much he means to me, but he was in Outer Banks. He was Captain Terrence on that. And we are still friends to this day. And tells me all the time.
We're moving to Florida, so we'll be near Atlanta. We're moving out of California and going to Florida.
And so he's really and truly my hero. And I love him with all my heart. And we've had some tough times together, but it's people like that are in your corner that just keep you going and say, hey man, you have got something special. And one of these days it's going to be your time. And when it is, the world's going to see it.
Zoe Saldana did a film called Center Stage back in the day. I think it was Zoe Saldana. Yeah, I think it was her. Yeah, it's her. And it's a dance movie. It's a really, really good dance movie where she's kind of like the outcast person who ends up becoming the star of everything at the end of it. Mm-hmm. So I used to like all the Marvel movies and all that stuff a lot, but I kind of they've gotten to be too much for me. I don't really like them so much anymore. I do like all the horror movies and stuff that come out, even though I haven't seen Obsession just came out on Peacock or someplace, so I'm going to see it. I haven't seen it yet. But so what's your favorite movie of all time? We got 1 minute left too.
Yeah, well, my favorite movie of all time is going to surprise you, and it's Blazing Saddles with Mel Brooks.
We just talked about that earlier. I don't know if you were listening, but
I wasn't.
I love that movie.
We had David Zucker on earlier, and he's the writer and director for Airplane and Scary Movie 3, 4, and 5, and all the Naked Gun movies except for the Liam Neeson one and stuff. And so we were talking to him about Mel Brooks and Blazing Saddles earlier, and it's a great movie.
Brooks, not Mel Gibson.
I said Mel Brooks.
No, you said Mel Gibson.
Oh, Mel Brooks. Okay, and so we love it. I think that's terrific. So. So you guys listen, Lester's got a bunch of movies. Shark Frenzy, I think, is out already, right?
It is. It's on Amazon Prime.
So is Deadly Vows.
Yes.
And Alien Horde. Is Alien Horde out yet?
I don't think it's released yet. They're still working on that one, but we do have another film.
Money with our films that are on that stupid network. I have a couple of movies out. I don't make any money. Nobody makes money.
You don't make any money because you're the actor, but the people who whose movie it is.
Can you believe the balls on this bullshit? Are you making money on your movie?
He doesn't make money on the back end.
Yeah, if the film makes money, I'll make money eventually. But for right now, well, I'm like you, Ron.
That's terrible.
Hang on, we're out of time.
If it wasn't supposed to be no movie.
Anyway, well, we just did.
You have a movie that we have to go, but you have a movie that you wrote and are like some kind of a Western or something. I saw on IMDb.
Yeah, it's in development. I'm not ready for that one yet, but it's going to be called Hatchet Springs, and it's a very, very gritty film. And so I just did a film though that I will tell you that's going to be out in theaters in November. It's called Elvis Pandemic. It is a comedy, and I star in that film alongside our Elvis tribute artist. And we get into it with the Mexican cartel and the Italian mafia. And it is super, super funny. It's very family friendly. Yep.
All right, you guys, this is Lester G. Reynolds. Follow him on Instagram at Lester G. Reynolds. We want to thank you for coming on the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. We're out of time. Congratulations on all the great stuff that you're doing. And keep us posted. Now we're friends on Instagram and Facebook, so we're good.
I'll be in touch.
Thank you so much.
A lot, Les.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
It was a great interview. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Jimmy, this is MC Alfred and Ozzy Star. I'm just chilling, Jimmy Star, yo, sitting down and designing. Why every man in thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your one I wanna be. Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out.